Hey everyone. Before I switch over to my main camera view here, I want to note that yes, I don't exactly. There might be some frame rate issues here with my crappy webcam. I can fix the frame rate issues, but then I look extremely blown out when I turn on the ceiling light. The studio lights I have lighting me up apparently aren't enough light for the sensor on this really shitty webcam. So it is what it is. I tried setting up my main camera that I use for my videos to use it as a webcam like I've done in the past from this particular angle because there should theoretically be room from this angle to do it. Unfortunately, the tripod I have doesn't work well enough to do it. Sucks. So this is what you're going to get, and you're just going to have to deal. If you wonder why I haven't been doing as many live streams, it's because I need to get a new proper streaming web camera that isn't from the 1990s. But here we go. How you guys doing? You guys doing good? Like I said, I got my main shooter camera like right here, but literally the tripod I have just doesn't fit where I need it to. So I just need to get a better camera. It's like $200, the one that I want to get. And who knows, maybe we'll end up getting that at some point here. For now, we're going to stream. We have a lot to talk about, a lot of rumors, a lot of things. It's been like rumor Christmas, and I want to talk about this because there's even more videos I could have made today about rumors. A lot more videos I could have made today. But instead we're doing this live stream, who knows? Maybe there'll be more. Here's the thing. I've made so many rumor videos in like the last week. It's weird, isn't it? We usually don't get this many rumors unless we're at the end of May, beginning of June, heading into E3. There's always a ton of rumors surrounding E3. But rumor season is starting now. E3's in 2 months. Literally 2 months like to yesterday. So I don't know what's going on. First off, let me say hi to everyone who's in the chat before we say anything else. We got the final Aeon momentary here. Brian C. is here. JNC Gaming, Mr. Combustible Lemon, Anthony Chipmunk, Christopher Lockhart, Jabril Anderson. Let's see here. Vincent Dubois. Let's see here. So Alec Shoemaker or Mocker. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Oof is here. We got Akin is here. OT4KU Stream Team is here as well. We got the Random D. Remember, if you guys want to shout out, just say something in the chat. We got the Bullied Bully, although he was hidden, so I'm not sure if he was being inappropriate. Cynthia Islands, or Isles, I should say. Let's see here. Scrolling down. We got that dude who hates life. YT is here. We got Because Why Not is here. Chicken Wing 55 is here. Brian Applegate is here. Randolph Jackson is here. Birdman is here as well. Welcome, everyone. Qwerty the Birdie, Mr. Fro 17, King Truth Gaming Channel is here. Dis Dragon Games is here. Flipdo is here. We got Gumba is here as well. A lot of people. Chicken Wing 55, I see you over there. We got lots of people. Lots of people. King Truth Gaming Channel. Did I already shout you out? All right. So, Because Why Not says, hey, Nate, how do I join the channel? And you should do a member-only stream for more personal experience. All right. So, for those who don't know, we do have new membership tiers. We used to only ever have one membership tier on the channel. Right now, we have like 5. So, they don't have the join button anymore. What they have now is if you tap or click on that money symbol, like you're going to super chat. If you're on phones, I think it is. Hold on, let me check the iPhone. Maybe they do still have the join button. I have no idea, to be completely honest. I'm only a member on like one other channel, so let me click on my own stream and see what happens. They were supposed to make it. There was an update. I got sent an email from YouTube. They were supposed to make it so when you click on the super chat thing, you could join there. But on my iPhone, it's still not showing up. So, anyways, there should be a join button, either through the super chat link or below, next to the stream, whatever. If you become a member of the channel, we have a bunch of different tiers. You get exclusive access on our Discord server, but I don't really care about the Discord server so much. If you head down to the description, I have a link to Gilded, which is like Discord, but I just prefer it more. And there's more personal experience over there. So, I don't know. You can join our Discord or join that. It doesn't really matter. The benefits of being a member of the channel is mostly you support the channel. That's the big thing. You support the channel and you support what I do and keeping us going. We are still a small channel. Believe it or not, 66K subs is great, but we are a tiny channel. We got a $5 super chat in, by the way, saying, haha, I'm awesome. Well, I mean, I'm glad you feel that way. Honestly, what matters most is your own personal opinion of yourself. And you're awesome. Guess what? I'm pretty awesome too. It's good to keep the good positive vibes going. Let's see here. What else we got going on? Someone just text me? Jeez, my phone's all blowing up right now. All right, so thank you for the $5. Maybe I'll crack a beer here later in celebration. We'll see how it goes. Join button is on PC though. Yeah, see, so the money button, the money button thing worked. It's not working on my PC or on my phone, but it literally was something that was working the other day. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't really control that. YouTube controls how the money button works. Flip2 says it's extremely interesting that many of the rumors going around lately are specified as not for E3. Not only are they specified as not for E3, we're getting the kind of rumors. Hey, we got a new person who joined over on Gilded. Thank you so much, Link. Thank you so much for joining over there. I remember when the 66K was a lot back in my day. Yeah, like when I started doing YouTube, okay, so this channel dates back like a decade almost. Well, 13 years technically. This channel was founded in 2008, but it was a completely different channel. It was Zelda Informer. We didn't really care about growing the channel. I didn't do YouTube really seriously until 2017. 2017, April. May 1st of 2017. So coming up here. So the 1st of next month is actually the birthday of Nintendo Prime as this YouTube channel. 4-year anniversary. So maybe I'll do a stream to celebrate that. So, at that point, the channel had 18,000 subscribers. We're at 66. It's a lot. But the thing is, when you think about adding, 40,000 plus new subscribers, almost 50,000, is in the grand scheme, the viewership's about the same. We're not really getting any more views today than we did 4 years ago on average per video. So, I mean, the audience is growing, but the audience is also mostly just staying the same. The more we grow, the more things never change, right? That's just the way it goes. Mostly thanks to YouTube changing their algorithm over the years. So, I don't really worry about it. I hope to get to 70K. I hope to get to 100K one day. I hope to get to 1 million one day. It doesn't really matter. We're all here having a good time. And today we're talking about rumors. What a shocker, right? How many times have we been talking about rumors the last week? There's rumors for everything, from Switch Pro to Breath of the Wild to Metal Gear Solid, for crying out loud. There's actual reports going on, things like crazy, stupid things with the PlayStation 4. We'll get into that in a little bit, because I don't know what the hell Sony was thinking, and I don't know why we didn't know about this sooner. So just a lot of stuff going on, and we got a lot to talk about. Chicken Wing 55 says he sees the drummer. That's great. Yeah, so we have multiple tiers on our membership now. I think the cheapest is $2.99, then $5.99, $9.99, $15 or $20, $25, $50. I have no idea. I can't remember what it's set at. I might eventually introduce a $1 tier, but we'll just cross that road when we get there. So anyone who wants member-only streams in the future, I had debated and doing member-only streams, especially in streams that are going to be really popular, where maybe the stream itself isn't member-only, but you can only talk in the chat if you're a member. That is something I've considered, but I don't think my channel is big enough to worry about that at this point. Like PewDiePie does that, but I mean, literally, he's the biggest YouTuber on the planet. So if he didn't do that, his chat would be even crazier. So it's almost out of necessity to try to keep some order. NS Switch says, how are you doing today? I'm homeschooled, so I had the flexibility to watch you. Thanks. I'm homeschooled too. I mean, I do college online, and pandemic or not, I'd still be doing college online. But that's neither here nor there. All right, let's get into some of this rumor stuff. So you guys know, just to recap before we get into the ones that are in the headline and all that, the rumors that I've been reporting on over like the last week. So I'm literally going to my channel right now and going to latest videos to remind myself of all the crap we've been talking about over the last week. So, let's see. The first one that I see here is just going back here. There's obviously all the stuff about the Switch Pro. The mentions of it in the operating system in the latest 12.0.0 update, the mention of Alula, the mention of the new dock. That's more of a, hey, this is a fact-finding thing than a rumor. It's not really a leak. It's just kind of a, hey, this thing exists factually in the operating system. What does it mean? Anyone's guess. We don't know what Alula is. So anyone's guess. Last time we saw stuff like this, it led to Switch Lite. So is it a Switch XL? Is it Switch Pro? Is it, I don't know. Are they just releasing a new dock and calling it a day? I have no idea. So that was like some of the initial stuff we had coming in. And then we had Bluetooth also in that update. So Bluetooth audio was added. You still can't use it. It's not like fully enabled where you can go take your Bluetooth headset and connect it to your Switch right now. But they added the ability for Bluetooth audio to be there. They've enabled some of the stuff you need to use it, which suggests either a hardware revision that lets you plug in headphones through a Pro controller that doesn't exist yet, or a Joy-Con that doesn't exist yet that has a headphone jack, or that they're going to add headset and Bluetooth audio in the future at some point. So they enabled this feature that's not really public-facing yet. Maybe it's only available for developers. I don't know. But that is something as well that is coming to Switch and probably Switch Pro, or whatever that Switch is at some point in the future. Oh, today, by the way, Nintendo announced a new Switch. Hey, everyone, new Switch. It's not a Switch Pro, though. We're getting a blue color Switch Lite, for those that didn't see the news on that. So there's a blue color Switch Lite releasing the same day as Miitopia, which basically makes it the Miitopia Switch Lite. I don't actually like the blue color, personally. And it's funny because my favorite color is blue. But probably because I lean more towards like a sky blue, a light blue is my favorite, and this blue leans way more towards the purple side of things. We got Corey Bohm, a fan, messaging me over on Gilded. What's up with him? What's he want? Rumor Prime brought to you by Amazon. Oh, Jesus. So yeah, that's kind of that's just some stuff going on there. Let me hit up the chat here quick because I don't have the chat currently up while I'm talking about this. See what you guys are mentioning here. Probably going to call Nintendo Switch 4K, says Owen and the Fifth Element Elsa. Possibly. I hope the Switch Pro rumors are Switch. If it's just an XL, I won't upgrade. I want to see an FPS boost. Okay. They might have accessories that were released later on. That's entirely possible as well. All right, so getting back into some of the other reports and rumors before we get into all the brand new stuff today. I mentioned also that Sony and PlayStation have a problem. We're going to get into that a little bit later because the problem's a bit deeper than I realized. I feel bad. Every time I talk about Sony, it feels like I'm shitting on them. I don't want to shit on Sony. I really enjoy my PlayStation 5. I play it more than my Xbox Series X right now. So I feel bad shitting on them. But when people do dumb things, they do dumb things. I shit on Nintendo too when it's time. We had obviously the 35th anniversary possible direct or something this month rumor. I don't know that that's actually happening. We did get something Zelda. We got the announcement of the first 4 figures this month with Rivali doing the Champion series. So that was really cool. So I don't know if we're going to get that direct or not, but that was obviously a rumor that was floating out there. The next rumor's actually been debunked. For those who don't know, the rumor for the 2 major Fire Emblem remakes, Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn. Unfortunately, I have an update for that rumor, and that is that it is not true. The guy Thani, whatever, that people were looking at and speculating that he was hinting towards it. He really was just saying, I really want it to happen. He did an interview sort of with Nintendo Enthusiast, and he told them, yeah, I saw people pick that up. I just wanted to put it out there that I no longer leak things I don't consider myself a leaker anymore. I don't know. He probably got in trouble for the stuff he leaked about Three Houses. That's what I kind of figure is that when he leaked all the stuff about Fire Emblem Three Houses, he got in trouble. That's what it sounds like. So he's like, I don't leak things anymore. I'm just saying that I would really like to see this happen. So, yeah, he's no longer considered a leaker, so anything that comes from that person is no longer going to be something that's worth reporting on. So those are just, I mean, technically could still happen, but there's not actually a real rumor out there for it. The leaker debunked it himself and said, yeah, I don't leak things anymore, sorry. Then we had all those Breath of the Wild 2 rumors that I put up yesterday. Most of them, pretty much all of them, literally all of them coming from Game Over Jesse. Not sure if any of them are true or not, but they are fun to talk about. No, I don't think the new game is going to be called Hope of the Wild, by the way. But that is a thing that's floating out there. Also, the rumor, which is sort of a report, but also technically a rumor because we don't know what it is Microsoft has plans for Nintendo Switch. We don't know what they are. We just know that Jeff Grubb mentioned that the switch in the background of Phil Spencer's video feed means something in the future. He doesn't know what it means. And then somebody else came out and said, ooh, the cat's starting to come out of the bag about what Xbox has planned for Switch. And a lot of the talk around Xbox for Switch has been around xCloud and Game Pass. So that's been something that's been widely talked about. Some people think maybe it's going to end up being, Rare Replay, which used to be rumored to come into Switch. Maybe it's going to end up being Master Chief coming to Smash. There's a whole bunch of possibilities it could be. Nothing can be taken off the table because we don't have any idea what the plan is. Just that Microsoft's doing more with Switch. Microsoft's been doing stuff with Switch this whole generation, so I guess we really shouldn't be too surprised that even more is coming. We just don't know what that more is. I even mentioned that, hey, we keep getting Bethesda games on Switch. They've been one of the top third-party companies supporting them. Microsoft now owns Bethesda. Maybe we're going to keep getting Bethesda games on Switch. Maybe we don't have to worry about the next Elder Scrolls game or the next Doom or whatever not coming to Switch. Maybe Microsoft plans to continue supporting the platform. I have no idea. It doesn't really fit into Microsoft's game plan to do that. But then again, if they don't worry about Switch as a competitor, then maybe Phil Spencer just doesn't care. I have no idea. So there's that. So let me just see what comments are on that. And we will go from there. Now, someone said Nintendo tweeted. Nintendo tweeted about the Switch earlier. Did they have a new tweet while I was streaming? I'll go check it out. You never know. Maybe there's some big news that Nintendo just dropped on us all in a tweet because that's just what Nintendo does. They dropped the new Indie World is coming. So we have a new Indie World dropping tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific. Tune in for a live stream for roughly 20 minutes, focused on fresh and new indie games coming to Nintendo Switch. So they're doing another Indie World tomorrow. All right, cool. It should be good. There's a lot of good indie games. Maybe we'll hear about No More Heroes 3. That's technically an indie game. Who knows? So that's kind of a thing that's coming tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. We'll probably live stream react to it just because it's fun. Yes, we'll get to the Bandai Namco rumors in a moment. Because they involve all the systems, by the way. I mentioned one thing for Switch, but it actually involves a lot of things. So we'll get to the new stuff here in a moment. I just wanted to kind of recap all the stuff that's been happening the last week. So Brian C. says, I love my PlayStation 5, but Sony does do a decent amount of dumb stuff. But I knew that before I bought it. Games are still amazing, though. Yeah, Sony does a lot of dumb stuff. Like, I'm not going to get too much into some of the old stuff, but before I get into the new rumors, I guess, because this has been on the forefront of my mind since I read about it. So I wasn't aware of this because I didn't own a PlayStation 5, a PlayStation 4. So I haven't done a lot of research into the PlayStation 4 itself, just as a platform in general, because I didn't own it, so I just didn't care to. But it turns out that there is, like, people freaking out over the PlayStation 3 and not being able, like, this is why digital sucks, because, you won't be able to get your updates for games anymore on PlayStation 3 once the shop goes down. You won't be able to buy games anymore after a certain date on PlayStation 3. It turns out things with PlayStation 4 are worse, and it's not just physical, or not just digital. It's also physical. So guess what's going to happen to your PlayStation 4 someday? Well, here's what happens right now. Inside the PlayStation 4 is a CMOS battery, okay? That CMOS battery's entire existence is to keep an internal clock going that is independent of anything the user can edit. So this is a non-editable clock. Can't be edited by anyone. I mean, technically you could touch it a little bit if you're able to hack your PlayStation 4, but PlayStation 4s are extremely hard to hack. So it is essentially a non-editable clock. Okay, what's that clock for? Well, the trophy system on PlayStation 4 syncs with the clock. Okay, that's why it's not editable. It's so people can't try to say, oh, I got this trophy 3 weeks before the game came out or something like that, right? Like, you can't fake your trophies and when you got them. So you can't be like, oh, yeah, I beat this game, in a day, and it really took you 4 months, but you edited your CMOS clock to, say that. Like, you can't do that. So they tied the trophies to that clock, right? Who cares? Who really cares about that? Well, here's a fundamental issue Nintendo doesn't have to worry about because they don't have a trophy/achievement system. What happens when the CMOS battery dies is all your games are unplayable. Because the trophy system doesn't work, all your games are unplayable. You can't play your digital games. You can't play your physical games. You can't stick a disc in and play, and you can't play digital. Period. You're done. CMOS battery dies, you're done. Your PlayStation 4 is a brick. You can't play your games at all, any of them. Now, technically, it's not an issue yet. Because on PlayStation 4, you can tear it apart and you can install a new CMOS battery. And it still won't work yet, but you can connect your PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation Network. It will resync that clock of that battery, that internal clock. It'll resync it to the PlayStation Network, and then trophies work again, and then you can play your game. So you can just replace the CMOS battery. You can replace the CMOS battery right now, so it's not considered a big issue because you can. It is a big issue because most consumers won't tear apart their PlayStation 4s, but repair shops can put a new CMOS battery in, resync your account with PlayStation Network, and call it good. Well, what happens when PlayStation Network no longer runs on PlayStation 4? Keep in mind, they just shut down online services on PlayStation 3, so there's going to be a day when PlayStation 4 doesn't have access to the PlayStation Network. So there's going to be a day, some 10 years down the road, when PlayStation Network is no longer available and your CMOS battery dies, and that's it. Because once the CMOS battery dies, it goes out of sync, and putting the new CMOS battery in won't fix it because it can't resync without connecting to the PlayStation Network, which means PlayStation 4s are all bricks, and they're all going to be bricks in 10 years. Think about how dumb of a design decision this was from Sony and PlayStation. They designed PlayStation 4 to basically be nothing but e-waste a decade from now. They made it so you guys can't play your games on PlayStation 4 after a certain amount of time because the battery dies and that's it. That's the end of it. And apparently, there's no easy way to just patch and fix this. This is a fundamental backbone of the entire infrastructure of PlayStation 4. And now you have to wonder if this is also a fundamental backbone of the entire infrastructure of PlayStation 5. Because we don't have all the details on the PlayStation 5 OS, all the details on how that works, and if the PlayStation 5 is also doing the exact same thing. We have no idea. Now, what we do know is a big update was released for PlayStation 5, or will be released tomorrow, which finally lets us use external hard drives with the PlayStation 5 and lets you store PlayStation 5 games on it. I guess that's the big news. You've been able to do PlayStation 4 games, but now you'll be able to store PlayStation 5 games and transfer them back and forth with external hard drives. Of course, there's still no way to actually expand the internal memory because they have an M.2 drive that they haven't enabled. Now, people can bitch about Xbox Series X and the fact that its expandable drive costs $220, but guess what? M.2 1TB SSDs cost around $200. It's pretty much right in line with the cost of what a 1TB Gen 4 SSD costs anyways. And Microsoft was smart when they built their system and realized, hey, the biggest issue with M.2 or the biggest issue with Gen 4 SSDs is cooling. Most, Gen 3 SSDs, you can get away with not cooling most M.2 Gen 3 SSDs. But Gen 4 SSDs run really, really hot, and they need to be cooled. So Microsoft realized, hey, if we make our thing external and plug into the system, we can have it radiate on the metal chassis of the system and then use that chassis as a way to dissipate heat off of the SSD. So now their external SSD, while it gets pretty warm, it doesn't overheat. Good for them. One issue that PlayStation has is they already have memory modules on the system on PlayStation 5 overheating factually, as proven by Gamer Nexus, because of really, really shitty cooling design. I mentioned that the cooling design was shitty when they tore down the system before it came out, and people didn't want to believe me. They thought, look how beefy look how widespread that heat spreader is. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Look at how the thing is overall designed. Look at the way the fins are pointed. Look at the fan. This is a stupid design for heat dissipation. And it turns out, according to Gamer Nexus, it's a really stupid design for heat dissipation. And I think the problem we're seeing, why the M.2 drive is not enabled right now, isn't because they can't just enable the M.2 drive and start letting you plug in M.2 SSDs, and it's not because they need to test a wide variety of M.2 SSDs. No, it's because you have to cool the fucking thing, and there's no cooling on that spot. That little thing you lift up, and when you pop it off and you put in the M.2 drive, there's no cooler there. There's nothing. There's no heat spreader touching that M.2 SSD. So there's no way to cool a Gen 4 M.2 SSD in PlayStation 5. Meaning, that's why they're not enabling the damn thing. So poor design there, poor design with PlayStation 4. I don't know what the fuck Sony's doing. And it pisses me off because, god damn it, do they fund really good games. They fund really good games, man. PlayStation, like Miles Morales, guys. Dude, I love that game, guys. I'm having a lot of fun. I'll probably have a nice little opinion piece on this coming out when I finally finish it off, because I'm having a lot of fun with Miles Morales. As someone who didn't play the first Spider-Man game, Miles Morales is great. My only experience of Miles Morales, because I didn't read the comics with him, was the movie, the children's movie. Well, it's kind of like a children's movie, but it's not. I mean, adults can watch it too. But Into the Spider-Verse, like, that was my first experience of Miles Morales. So playing him in a game has been really, really cool. And I've really enjoyed that game, so I can't wait to talk more about it when I finish it up. So, like, Sony keeps making really good games. Astro's Playroom, love it. I know Ratchet and Clank's going to end up being really freaking great. But, we're at this point where I'm just really worried about Sony in this regard. I think that they don't know how to design systems very well, which is weird coming from a company that I think they did pretty decent with the PlayStation 2. I thought the PlayStation 2 was designed well. But, they're dealing with a lot less heat back then, so I guess there was a lot more leeway for those designs. People want to say, is Xbox the same way, or just... Xbox cooling is just fine. There's no issues with the Xbox cooling. How big the heat spreader is an indicator of how bad the cooling is. Typically, you don't need a heat spreader that's like this wide if the cooling's really good. Now, yeah, there's a pretty beefy heat on the Xbox Series X. There's like a brick. It's like a brick of cooling like this on the Series X. That's like this thick and like this big, but it's still less overall heat spreader than the PlayStation 5. But they went with vapor chambers, which is just way more effective. A lot of smartphones that are like top end specs use vapor chamber cooling because it's just better. It's just better at dissipating heat. I mean, it still uses metal, of course, but you can look up all the math and all the science behind why vapor chamber is better than just a block of metal. Anyways, Brian Thatcher said, why do you think Xbox and Nintendo have a different mindset to cross-platform gaming to Sony? Because it seems Xbox and Nintendo are playing ball with each other, and Sony hates the idea. So let's be clear here. When we talk about the whole better together and Nintendo and Xbox playing good together, it's Xbox playing with Nintendo. What has Nintendo given Xbox? Have you seen any of Nintendo's exclusive indie games appearing on Xbox? Oh, Octopath Traveler. Okay. But that was like a Square game. Like, I'm talking about a fully funded Nintendo game. I'll give you a couple examples. Well, I'll give you one big example. But I can give you two. Snipper Clips, still exclusive to Switch. Golf Story, still exclusive to Switch in terms of consoles. Do you see Nintendo giving those games to Xbox? Nintendo's not doing anything. Nintendo's just allowing Xbox to put games out. And why wouldn't Nintendo want Xbox games? So, to be fair, it's kind of a one-way relationship. But the relationship's obviously working for Xbox. So and I think Xbox is so giving because Xbox, I do think, wants Game Pass and wants xCloud on Switch. I think that's their ultimate goal, is to get xCloud and Game Pass on Switch. I think they want it. I think they're trying to convince Nintendo it's a good idea. They're trying to show Nintendo a way that they can also profit from it in addition to Microsoft. So I think there's this long haul goal where Microsoft's doing all this to build goodwill so they could have it. Also, there's supposedly a rumored meeting happening with bigwigs, including Phil Spencer and including Shintaro Furukawa this week. I've heard this from multiple sources, multiple industry insiders, a couple journalists. There's supposedly a big meeting happening this week with Nintendo and Microsoft. Don't know what the meeting's about, but when the bigwigs get talking, it's usually over something that matters. So, otherwise you would think it'd just be, some email exchanges and, hey, look, we're gonna put Cuphead out. But I'm like, when you start having Shintaro Furukawa and Phil Spencer talking, I don't know, kind of, throw out there anything you guys think might happen with that. It could be nothing. It could just be talking about Smash. Could just be talking about putting Master Chief in Smash. Who knows? Which would be a big deal, by the way. Having Master Chief in Smash would just be awesome. All right. So getting into some of the new stuff here. I put out a lot of this on my Twitter already, so I'm gonna head over to my Twitter just to make sure I get this. Let's start with Let's start with the Metal Gear stuff. So what's happening is a bunch of things with Metal Gear. So the rumors that are out there, or there's a report out there right now that Metal Gear Solid, the entire Metal Gear Solid series, is currently being remastered and is going to be released on PlayStation 5 and PC. Okay, whatever. That's expected, right? Metal Gear has always been closely associated with PlayStation. Having a whole Metal Gear Solid collection remastered and coming to PlayStation 5. Okay, that's something that Konami would do. That's something that makes sense. But what's interesting is, after that rumor came out, after that report came out, new reports are now out there that Microsoft is trying to get a deal done with Hideo Kojima to make a game exclusive to Game Pass / Xbox. And you're like, okay, that's what the Death Stranding figure meant in the background of Phil Spencer's video, was, oh yeah, he's trying to work with Hideo Kojima and, get him to make a game. But here's where things get crazy. It turns out that industry insiders are now hearing very pointedly that Microsoft is attempting to buy Metal Gear, the franchise, from Konami. So despite the fact that there's probably this remastered collection coming out on PlayStation 5, Microsoft wants to buy the IP away from Konami. And who the hell do you think they're trying to tag to make the next Metal Gear game? None other than Hideo Kojima. Microsoft is trying to reconnect Metal Gear and Kojima. And reap all the benefits of it being exclusive to their platforms. Crazy. Some people upset by this. I've had some people on Twitter yell at me and say this is a bad move by Microsoft. Why? Because Metal Gear's always been a PlayStation thing. That's fine. My counterpoint is, hello, what the fuck is Konami going to do with the franchise anymore? They tore apart the team and booted Kojima out of the damn company. So what the hell are they going to do with the Metal Gear? The only games they've had come out after Kojima sucked. Konami is very much into gambling, very much into their casino and pachinko games. That's what Konami's focused on. They're not focused on making great Metal Gear games anymore. So, the rumor is they're shopping Metal Gear and Microsoft the front runner to grab it. And the thing is, if Metal Gear's up for grabs and people are all worried, but Sony, why doesn't Sony sweep in and buy it then? Why doesn't Sony talk to Hideo Kojima, who they clearly have a long-standing partnership with, hence Death Stranding for his first game being exclusive to their platform? Why didn't Sony sweep in and buy Metal Gear? Instead, Sony's throwing $200 million at Epic Games for a grand total of $250 to $300 million they've now invested in Epic Games. So Sony's throwing their money elsewhere instead of throwing it for this IP, throwing it at Hideo Kojima. So I'm just saying that, I don't know what's happening. This is just the rumors and the reports out there from people that seem to be rather credible on this. A lot more credible than some of the Nintendo rumors. So that's what's potentially happening with Metal Gear. It's crazy. Crazy. Zelda Breath of the Wild / OOT says, "Hey Nintendo Prime, my issues with Xbox is mostly stuff is 5+ years out easy. I heard the Rare game and the Fable are years out." So what happened is there was a podcast. That talked specifically about Fable. It talked specifically about what was it? There's 3 games they talked about. They talked about Fable. They talked. I can't remember. Fable was one of the big ones, but there was 2 other big ones that Microsoft's announced. That they said Perfect Dark was one of them, and I can't remember. There was a 3rd one, and what they speculated in this podcast, and it was purely speculative, by the way. It wasn't fact-based, that none of these games are ready. The earliest one's coming 2022. One of the other ones is coming 2023, and the other one's going to come after 2023, so 2024 or 2025, somewhere in there. Okay, that's what had people being like, whoa, whoa, okay. But not included in that was Hellblade 2. Hellblade 2 was the first game shown off for Xbox Series X. That wasn't one of those 3 games. What also wasn't one of those 3 games was any of Bethesda's games. Reportedly, Starfield's coming out this year. Reportedly, Halo Infinite's coming out this year, etc., etc., etc. So, sure, some of the major games they've shown off aren't going to be around for 3 years. That's probably true. It's also true from Sony. You know how many games Sony shows off and then doesn't release for 3 or 4 years? It's very common in the industry. They just pull the card from Sony. What makes people worry is they don't know what's coming soon. Well, just wait until E3 and Microsoft blows out all the Bethesda stuff. Just wait. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming over the next couple of years from the studios they bought. Remember, 3 games when they bought, at this point, 18 studios. What are the games from the other 15 studios? So let's relax a little bit. Yeah, they hyped you with some stuff that's not coming for a while. Like Elder Scrolls 6 is another game. Not coming for a while. But hey, it's kind of cool to get teased for it. Now let's see what's coming soon. Nintendo's kind of actually, PlayStation 5, Xbox, and Nintendo are kind of all in the same slate where we don't really know what the slate is for the next 2 years. We just presume there's going to be games. We don't really know what the factual slate's going to be. It's a very interesting spot. PlayStation 5, we actually know of a few games for this year at least, but supposedly for this year. The chat says, "I'm making a 2D platform indie game in Unity to where every boss battle gets you a new move like a dash and grappling beam, and you have an energy bar, and whenever you get a certain item or defeat an enemy, and it has a hub world and progression similar to the first Mario Galaxy, and it's a 2D game. It's a different pass." Well, that's cool. Good luck on your game, man. Sounds interesting. Good luck. There's also reported that Sony is talking to Kojima and Konami for ports. Yeah, there's a lot. It feels like there's a back end battle over what's going on. I think Sony and Microsoft are in a bidding war. Thing is, Microsoft can win in any bidding war if they want. They could buy Sony 8 times over. Buy the whole company. So it's not really that's the thing. Sony likely isn't going to win in a bidding war against Microsoft or anything. But I do think ports and remasters, I think Microsoft doesn't care about that shit. They say, fine, those games are already on your platform, have those games. I don't think Microsoft cares about that. So even if Microsoft bought the Metal Gear series, I don't think they would block remasters going to PlayStation 5. I don't think Microsoft is, I don't want to say gamer friendly, but they are not idiots, if that makes sense. What's going to happen to Snake in Super Smash Bros. 6 and future Smash Bros. Games if these rumors are true? Probably nothing. I mean, if Microsoft owns them, Microsoft has no issue. Microsoft has Banjo-Kazooie in the game. They won't have an issue with Snake being in the game. What am I studying in college? That's a weird question to come up. Computer programming. Konami won't get rid of any IP that can still make them money on their casino machines. They have the most ridiculous stuff plastered with their game franchises in them. Yeah, but it turns out that Metal Gear isn't a very big pachinko game for them. It turns out that people who are into Metal Gear aren't the kind of people that go to casinos. Who knew? So it's not really a very, like, a lot of their game themed, like, based on their major game themed stuff isn't actually. God, I think I just unplugged my monitor. Whoops. And we're back. A lot of their game themed stuff like that aren't very aren't actually that popular. They have a lot of really popular casino games, by the way. Heck, I've played some of them, but they're not based on their game franchises. Will I be covering the indie game showcase tomorrow? Sonic Man, one of the note. I do plan to stream it. Yes, we'll see though. Obviously, things come up. I can't guarantee it, but I plan to. Hey Prime, if you had to say who Microsoft would let in Smash, would Microsoft let anyone in? Who would Microsoft let in? They'd let anyone. It's not about Microsoft. It's about Nintendo. Phil Spencer has openly said anyone can be in Smash. Phil Spencer doesn't care. He'll let Nintendo use anyone. It could be Conker. It could be Master Chief. It could be Doom Guy. It could be whoever. Phil Spencer doesn't care. He's made that very public. That anyone can be in Smash if Nintendo wants them to be. It's up to the Nintendo, not up to him. So that's what's really cool. That's one, like I said, Microsoft's being very open with Nintendo. It's kind of weird. Like Phil Spencer, it's almost like Phil Spencer loves Nintendo. It's like, I run Xbox, but I mean, I'm really a hardcore Nintendo fan. It's who I really am. But I'm not Japanese, so I can't run Nintendo. So I run Xbox instead. So that's what it kind of feels like. He's such a hardcore Nintendo fan. Let's see here. Sony is clearly in a funk right now. Bad leadership. I love my PlayStation 5 and I use it for games to run better with some great exclusives. I can see myself buying an Xbox for the first time since 360. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what, like, I don't know. I hate, like, you bring up this, like, I brought up that negative news about Sony earlier. Like, I don't like calling out companies that, aren't my mainstay. Like, the mainstay of my channel is Nintendo, right? So, like, I'll call them out, I'll criticize them, but that's because I also know I have a ton of videos praising stuff that they do, praising their games, all that jazz. For Sony, I don't have a lot of videos that praise Sony. Almost every video I have is a negative video of Sony, because I seem to only talk about them when negative stuff happens. But that's because I wasn't participating in the PlayStation 4 era. Now that I'm participating in the PlayStation 5 era, I'm hoping I have more positive things to say. And right now, Miles Morales is my big... Ooh, I love that game, but I haven't talked about it much yet. So it's like... But I'm not that impressed with the PlayStation 5 hardware. Like, its design. You could say, are you impressed with the visuals? I'm like, I don't know. I have a gaming PC. It's nothing I haven't seen before. I'm still waiting for that next-gen game that's going to blow me away. It's not here yet. Everyone's like, oh, man. But like Dark Souls or Demon Souls or whatever it is, I have it on there. I forget which one it is. Oh, man, it blows my mind. I'm like, well, yeah, compared to the original, but compared to modern games, it looks all right. Not really that impressed. I don't know if I'm going to get impressed, and that's okay. I don't have to be impressed. I just have to enjoy the games. If they have Metal Gear toasters and whatnot. I don't know, man. Metal Gear's not as big in Japan as you think it is. It's not as big in Japan as you think it is. It's always been more of a Western popularity for Metal Gear. All right. What plug are you using that you unplugged your monitor? It's the power cord. So I got this big desk. I got my main monitor here. This is my big widescreen one. I've shown you guys before, the 49-inch widescreen. But I have a new 4K 60 monitor here I use for editing videos that are in 4K. That's the only reason I have it. And I got it really, really cheap at a Bargain City store because it was a display model. It's actually it's like a $500 monitor, but I got it for like $100 because it was a display model. So it's power cord and it's missing like a cap on the end. So it's not something that you would typically sell to a consumer, at full price because it's got some scuffs on the back. It was a display model and no scuffs on the screen, surprisingly. Anyway, so the power cord goes down a hole in my desk. And then it goes across the floor underneath my desk to the power strip that's over here. So sometimes if I put my foot in too far, I kick the power cord. Now you might be like, well, why would that do anything? Well, it's actually a brick. So it's kind of like a laptop brick almost. So there's like, it comes down off of the monitor, and then there's a brick, and then a power cord plugs into that brick and then goes over. So sometimes if I hit the brick with my foot, it unplugs the power. That's basically what happens. I try not to hit it with my foot, but every now and then, you know, I have a box here that's supposed to prevent my foot from hitting it, but every now and then, you know, my feet have a mind of their own. All right, so let's get into the Bandai Namco stuff. We haven't talked about that yet, and I want to make sure I get to that here. Bandai Namco is doing stuff. Man, my Twitter is blowing up. Just a lot of notifications on Twitter. I guess I shouldn't say it's really blowing up. Where's my Bandai Namco tweet? Scrolling on. Here we go. This comes from Leaky Panda. So Leaky Panda on Twitter, well-known leaker, leaked a bunch of stuff, sometimes right, sometimes wrong. Is what it is. It says we gathered all these things that could be announced and confirmed. Confirmed coming, but not sure announcing during a batch. We'll update. So basically, they're confirming that. So basically, they're talking about Bandai Namco. These are things they confirm are coming. Okay. So Dragon Ball Z Kakarot on Switch. This has been a rumor that's been going around for a while. They're just re-upping on that rumor. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot coming to Switch. Again, this has been a rumor that's existed for at least 6 months. So they're just doubling down. We're getting Dragon Ball Z Kakarot on Switch. We're getting Tales of Destiny on PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. I'm assuming that also includes PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X because they're backwards compatible. So it's coming to everything. Tales of Destiny. All right, cool. Tales of Arise is going to Xbox Game Pass. So another quality get for Xbox Game Pass. Dark Souls. Here's the big thing. Dark Souls is expanding further. This is really weird wording. Dark Souls is expanding further on Nintendo Switch and Google Stadia. So Google Stadia, whatever. Google Stadia can get anything. It's a streaming platform. It can run all the games in the best settings. All right. But expanding further into the Nintendo Switch, are we getting more Dark Souls games? That's what I want to know. Are we getting more Dark Souls games? Because remember, we got that remake or that remaster or whatever on Switch, but we haven't gotten anything else. Does this mean we're getting more remakes, more remasters? Does this mean future Dark Souls games are coming to Switch? I don't know, but Dark Souls is expanding further into Nintendo Switch and Stadia. I don't know what that means. Something Dark Souls related on Switch beyond what we already have. That's all I can get from it. And then here's a next-gen announcement, or a next-gen game that's not currently announced. Gundam Breaker 4 is coming to PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X. Well, plus Xbox Series S as well. So there you go. That is the Bandai Namco rumor coming from Leaky Panda on Twitter. That's some big stuff. Some big stuff. Not to be contrarian, it's still possible. I just don't see them selling an IP. They can just license and still make money until the sun dies. It all depends on what the offer is, you know. Like if Microsoft comes in and says, "Dude, we'll give you $1 billion for the Metal Gear franchise," a franchise they factually aren't really making that much money on anymore. It's one of those, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of coin to not just hand over IP rights. Red Chaos says, if Metal Gear Solid Xbox rumors are true, it would make a lot of sense for Microsoft to not just Xbox Series X and S, but also Game Pass in general would make even more sense. Oh, it would. Get the Metal Gear series all up on Game Pass, and then obviously have Hideo Kojima make the next Metal Gear game. You know how hyped the next Metal Gear game would be if Hideo Kojima was making it, because Kojima is clearly never going to work with Konami again. So, man, that would be great. It'd be also great if they could somehow sweep the Silent Hill franchise into that purchase. Like, I know people are upset because these games are on PlayStation, but if they're not going to be made anymore, then might as well have Microsoft buy them and buy Silent Hill as well and get Kojima to make. I mean, Sony should do it. To be clear, Sony should be buying Silent Hill. Sony should be having Kojima make a Silent Hill game, but I don't know that it's that profitable. Like I think we all know Silent Hill to a degree, but I don't know that, it's not even close to the level of Metal Gear for sales. What do you think of Shell from Portal, Gordon Freeman with the gravity gun, or the entirety of the Team Fortress 2 classes changing from costumes in this match? I mean, sure. I got no problem with that, the Chad. That's fine with me. Liam says, please do a setup tour or something. I'm really curious about my workflow. I think I've shown it before, haven't I? Like, if you go watch any of my Here's the News videos, you see my 2 monitors in the back. I guess that's not really a close view, but you do see my 2 monitors. It's, my workflow is interesting. So right now I have the camera right here. It's just off camera over here, like the main camera. It is pointing over here. I can show you this part. Let me move my gilded chat. So I can show you a little bit. So the camera points over there towards that TV and all those foam panels. And over there, that's just general storage. I just have like camera bits and other things stored over there. So like it points over here where I have a desk, which you can kind of see right there. It's got some paper on it from the last video I did at that set, and then that TV back there is actually currently hooked up to the computer I'm streaming from. And as you see, it still has the Breath of the Wild video up there. I should probably close that. Look at that. See all this stuff up here from videos I did in the past. That's what the background is right now. Anyways, so that's like set up as like a third monitor, but it's really a big 50-inch TV, a 55-inch TV, something like that, 1080p. It's not like a super high resolution TV, and that's what I use in the background. Now that TV is used for the podcast as well. The camera gets moved from there to right here, where I'm sitting right now, pointing this way, and then we have whoever our guest is on the podcast is on the TV, and then you have Eric and I sitting on a couple desks. Looks really nice. And what are the foam panels fell? That's an issue I have right now. Is I got to redo some of the stuff for those foam panels so they stop falling off. Anyways, and then I have my 2 monitors. I have my super widescreen, which is a 1080p 144 hertz, and then my 4K 60. And this 144 hertz one is also a sick gaming one because it's FreeSync, and I have a AMD 5700 XT, so I take full advantage of that FreeSync. Push those frame rates really high. It's a fun one to game on. I mean, I like gaming at 4K 60 too, but for games like World of Warcraft or something, a lot of fun to play on this super widescreen, ultra widescreen, 144 hertz monitor. But I've done videos in the past showing off stuff. Like I don't really talk about my console setup right now. It's kind of messy. I got my Switch right here, then my PlayStation 5 on a TV stand, and the Xbox Series X on a TV stand. But it looks really messy because right now I don't have a clean way to switch between systems. So I have to like get up and plug things into different my TV only has 2 HDMI ports. One of those HDMI ports is dedicated to my Apple TV because my Apple TV enables me to watch 4K through my cable provider, so I never unplug the Apple TV. Plus, I can control the TV with the Apple TV remote, which is nice. So I don't always have to use this remote for the TV. I can use the Apple TV remote, which is a bit simpler to use. And then the other port is the one I use for my consoles. But so I have to constantly change what's plugged into the capture card on the computer versus what's plugged into the TV. It's just a mess. So there's just a mess of cords there with a router and a power strip, and it just looks sloppy as hell. But I don't have a way to make it look better because every time I make it look super clean, immediately I have to make it look messy again because I got to make changes. So it's set up conveniently for me to change things, not convenient to look good. So it's like an OCD mess over there. It's bad. I know how bad it is. My actual desk I work on is pretty clean. It just has my Switch here, and the only reason my Switch is here versus over on the table is whenever I do videos shooting back to my my monitors, I like having the Switch dock blocking my Focusrite microphone inputs. It just makes it look a little bit cleaner on camera. Now, I don't do the camera facing back to my monitors often unless I'm doing a Here's the News. Even for Here's the News, I might just use that TV setup I have even more. I have some ideas. It's funny. I made this one set. It was only supposed to be for the podcast, and now I've got like a bunch of ideas on how to repurpose the set for other videos, like I've already done and like I might do in the future. Anyways. Everything in this place. And the thing is, I still have my gaming shelves. You guys remember the gaming shelves? They're still there. See, my gaming shelves are still there. So I still have all my gaming collection there. So like that's a whole nother set I could use at like. That's a whole nother set I could use at like any time. I could just move this mic out like this. And then I could stand over there. I can point the camera, turn some lights on, and I could shoot a video with the gaming collection in the background too. I just don't do it very often now. I don't think it, I think what gets me about the gaming collection, I think it's almost overdone on YouTube. I think a lot of YouTubers default to sitting in a chair or standing with their gaming collection in the background. And it makes sense. You know, it's like, this is my gamer. You don't think I'm a gamer? Here's my gamer card. Look at my collection. But I think every gaming YouTuber basically does that. So I like the different look I have with my newer videos. It doesn't mean I won't ever use that gaming collection thing for a video again. And my goal one day is to use a video where I can actually walk and the camera will move with me. That won't happen until I hire somebody though, because I need someone behind the camera to move it while I'm moving. But anyways, you like the blue color wall? Well, blue's also my favorite color. And then all of a sudden, turns out Spawn Wave uses blue back panels on his too. I thought for sure he'd use purple because that's been like the theme color of his channel. But no, he went with blue, which of course, now people think I copy Spawn Wave because you have blue sound panels. I'm like, yeah, my favorite color is blue. My whole channel's been blue themed like this whole time. I know there's a little purple in my thumbnail thing now, but if you go to my channel banner, it's still blue. Look at this. There's blue in this damn stream layout. Anyways, it is what it is. I just don't care anymore. I sure hope we get a Switch Pro this year. I'm seeing games struggle on it. Screen tearing's always a bummer. Yes, I know about the Indie Direct tomorrow, Akin, by the way. I already know about it, clearly. I'm not dumb. I talked about it before. Like when it was announced, because it got announced while I was streaming. What would you say if we get a new Silent Hill game and the pre-order bonus for the game would be PT? PT, phone home. Oh yeah, that's ET. What would you say if we got a new Silent Hill game and the pre-order bonus for the game was... I mean, that'd be interesting. You just need the Alexa Move device. Yeah, there are smart devices out there that have cameras that'll follow you. There's even like certain webcams you can get that have automatic swivel, so you can like stand up and move and the camera will follow you. So there are options, but it's not my professional. It's not a professional. Those aren't professional grade cameras. This is a professional grade camera. It's not no top of the line, but I mean this is $1,000 camera with a $400 lens on it. So it's not like top tier, but it's not no slouch either. So this is a professional grade camera that I totally only recently figured out how to make it stop refocusing without someone being behind the camera. I'm a noob with it, but man, do my 4K 60 videos look so crisp with it. I love it. So, yeah, that's a lot different than an Alexa camera or a webcam following me. A lot different than this piece of shit 1990s webcam that I don't know why I've never replaced this thing over the years. Well, technically I did. I have a Logitech Brio 4K camera, but my kids broke it, so technically I did have a nice webcam at one point. Y'all like Christmas? I've been using the same Micro Four Thirds system as you for 8 years. If you need any tips, I can help. Yeah. What's up, Han Solo? Yeah, it is really weird, all these gaming rumors we've had. Again, we usually don't get this amount of gaming rumors unless it's close to E3, and now we're getting a bunch of rumors now, most of them not even for E3, which means we're going to have a whole news cycle in like a month that's a bunch of E3 rumors. So I've been reporting on this industry a long time, long before Nintendo Prime, and I have never seen rumors hit this hard, this fast, and this many of them from so many different places for all platforms. Like, all platforms have huge rumors going on. Without it being around E3. So this is crazy. What dead or mistreated IP do you hope to see return at E3? Hoping for Marvel versus Capcom with cell shading that doesn't take anything from the Marvel Cinematic Universe and bring back the X-Men. Dead or mistreated IP. I mean, I always default to Conker's because I want a new Conker's or I want a new Banjo. I'm not sure. I'm always into new stuff. You know, I say that, then I get super hyped for something old coming back. But I like new IPs, new fresh ideas that aren't restricted by the constraints of a current ongoing IP. And you could argue, well, the constraints only are there if you let them be there. I'm like, yeah, but like there's certain things that make a Zelda game be a Zelda game. Certain things that make, you know, a Mario game be a Mario game. That like you can't just eliminate those things and have them still be Zelda and Mario games, you know. You can break conventions. I'm not saying that, but there's just certain elements that are like the backbone of what makes those games what they are, and it's really hard to like, you know, break those that backbone. So just make a new IP. You ain't gotta worry about it. So you think another direct will happen before E3 or something else? Well, we have an Indie World tomorrow. So is that something? Does that count as something else? I personally don't think we're getting any direct or anything until E3. I think Nintendo's got nothing major getting announced from now to E3. Now, there might be a Pokemon something. The Pokemon Company doesn't give a shit about E3. Pokemon Company doesn't give a shit what Nintendo does. Pokemon Company just does what they want to do when they want to do it. So, Pokemon Company could do something. But Nintendo themselves, I don't think, I mean, the indie world, sure. I mean, there could be a partner showcase, maybe. But I don't think they're doing anything major, like not a major direct, like they just did, you know, like a month or two ago. 2 months ago at this point? Whenever it was. They did that major direct. We're not going to get anything of that again until E3. That's my personal opinion. Now, I know there's rumors for a Zelda direct. There's rumors for a lot of things. But I personally think we're getting nothing until E3. Major. What about Splinter Cell? I haven't heard anything about Splinter Cell. Sorry, David. I wish there was rumors. Like, rumors are fun. Even if all this stuff's bullshit, it's still fun. It's fun to talk. Like, I don't want it all to be bullshit. And chances are, all of it's not bullshit. Some of it's real. Some of it's true. You know, figuring out what stuff's real and what stuff's true is part of the fun. But I mean, I'll take real news any day. Let's go. Let's get indie showcases. Let's get Nintendo Directs. Let's get PlayStation stuff. Let's get Xbox ID at Xbox. Let's go. Let's just hit it. Let's have E3 hit, dude. Let's get hyped over real shit. That'd be awesome. You know, but that's not the way the industry works. You don't just get big announcements all the time. I currently have 7 Nintendo Switch games. I'm just waiting for the Switch Pro to come so I can start playing. Oh, you're one of those people that's holding out. Nice. Surprised Disney hasn't brought back Han Solo. They did. Don't you remember the Solo film? Who says they can't make more young Solo films? So they technically didn't get rid of Han Solo. They just got rid of him from the future. It's weird. Isn't it weird how, like, so they killed off Han Solo? I guess spoiler warning for anyone who hasn't seen any of the new Star Wars movies. But they killed off Han Solo. But they didn't really kill off Luke Skywalker. Like, they did, but they didn't. I mean, if you watch the movies, you'll understand what I mean. Like, he's not... technically, he didn't die on screen. And now I get Luke Skywalker has always been like the biggest character, but it's kind of interesting. Like, they killed off everyone else basically, but hey, Luke, We might try to convince you to come back in the future if we can't figure out a way to make Star Wars viable again. Have a good day. Like, what was the coolest thing about, like, the last season of The Mandalorian? Spoiler warning, Luke Skywalker. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's weird. Like, Luke is still there. I don't know. I don't know. I actually did not see episode 9. I do want to watch it eventually. Maybe I just keep hoping if I put enough distance between when it came out to when I watch it, that maybe it won't be as bad as everyone says it is. But it's probably going to be bad. And I haven't watched it. The episode 8 kind of turned me off, which is why I didn't watch 9. But I will watch it eventually. I'm a big Star Wars fan. It sucks that I haven't watched, that I don't even feel like the strong desire to watch 9. Yet I finished The Mandalorian, so. Nintendo has a chance to hit E3 hard, but they can't show too many lame games from other devs like that. DC Girl game and stuff like that. Otherwise, a regular direct than a presentation. Lame games like that DC Girl game. What are you talking about, that DC Girl game? You talking about Marvel's Ultimate Alliance? That's a good game. Not me. I just got a Switch this past Christmas, and I own like 60 games now. Nice. Yeah, I got like 80-something games, 80 plus. I don't even know. What's going on? Can I get you up to speed, maybe? Oh, boy. That was a whole long segment to talk about what's happening with Metal Gear. What did it take me, guys? Like 20 minutes to explain the Metal Gear stuff? Feels like it took me 20 minutes to explain it. There's a lot. Someone give him like the abridged version in the chat. You press send accidentally. It's a shame Bandai doesn't bring everything to Switch. Considering it's been a success for years. It's a shame that like Sega hasn't fully committed, Bandai hasn't fully committed. Like all these Japanese companies not fully committing to the lead platform in Japan just sucks. What's up, Avery Mixon? I'm doing all right. Episode 9 is okay. When I first watched it, I loved it, but the more time I watched, the more I just... Yeah. See, I haven't watched it yet. I have a feeling I'm going to end up liking it more than I think I will. But, you know, it's all right. It's weird that I haven't watched it and I still don't feel it's essential. But I probably don't feel it's essential because we don't have the next movie that comes after it. So whenever they have the next movie that comes after it, then I know, okay, I need to watch episode 9. You know. Especially if like the initial trailer gets me hyped, which happens. I mean, I'm an admitted Star Wars fan, so it's not hard to hype me up. And again, Disney has done some good things. I think Mandalorian's pretty good. I don't think it's, you know, some people act like it's the greatest Star Wars thing ever. It's not, but it's good. From the perspective and the story, and it's good. It's a good show. And then, you know, obviously, I thought Solo was a really good film. I've seen that one. You know, some of these between Star Wars films, I think there was one other one they did that I can't recall right now, was also really good. I also thought that episode 7 was really good. I had never any issues with episode 7. I thought it was fantastic. I thought episode 8 was just Second half of that movie, I was not a fan. So I don't hate everything Disney's done with Star Wars. And certainly, you know, I don't know if George Lucas would have did any better. But Jedi Fallen Order needs to come to Switch. That'd be sweet. Rogue One, yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Yeah, that was a good one. That was really good. So I've enjoyed some of the stuff Disney's done. It's one of those give or take. Do you think it's likely that Japan developers will be forced to go to Nintendo by default? That Sony pretty much spit in their faces and left Japan? No. Because their games primarily sell in the West. So no. Mandalorian's good. I also enjoyed Solo episodes 7, and I actually really liked 8. I loved Rogue One was great. Might be the best thing they've done with Star Wars yet, was Rogue One. That Disney's done. So like I said, that's the thing. Some people feel like Disney ruined Star Wars, and it's like, I mean, it's not like Star Wars wasn't in a great place before Disney bought it. I mean, what was the big thing they had going? The Clone Wars stuff? Like the Clone Wars anime cartoon? Like, beyond that, Star Wars really wasn't that relevant when it was bought. And I hate saying that as someone who's a Star Wars fan, but like George Lucas kind of ran that franchise into the damn ground. And there it was again. I unplugged my damn monitor. No! That's okay. We're back. Well, you guys never left, but I'm back. Maybe I gotta like double side tape that thing and put it on the top of the desk or something. I think it's like the Japanese developers. Oh, wait, I already answered that. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure like the only good thing Star Wars had going at the time was that Clone Wars stuff. Like I'm really positive that was like it. But maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like that's the only thing I ended up caring about. PSVR 2.0 reveal that PlayStation E3 21 press conference. Sony wins E3 21 June 15 and June 21st. PlayStation E3 21. What? The PlayStation isn't participating in E3. PlayStation videos. It's cool that you're a PlayStation fan, but Sony is factually not participating in E3. So they can't technically win E3 because they're not part of E3. Now, do I think they will have an event in June? Do I think they'll have an event in July or something? Maybe. Or they could wait all the way for PSX, which is now, I think, their big event. They're going to do stuff at that and Gamescom. What's happening, Nate? Not much. I do have a pet. I have a dog. Jar Jar Binks was the best part of Star Wars ever. Well, you're one of the few people I've heard ever say that. Yes, Indie Direct tomorrow. Yeah, Switch is fine. I play it on TV all the time. I don't have a problem with it, and I play it on a 4K TV. It's all right. It's not as good as other options, but I mean, it's not bad. It's playable. At Nathaniel Rumplemans. Are you trying to make fun of me, Clayton? You bastard. No, what's up, man? How you doing? Ridiculous question, but have you ever done Star Wars costumes for Halloween? I have dressed as a Jedi once for Halloween, yes. I think you could pull a Baby Yoda off. No, I couldn't. But I have dressed as a Jedi for Halloween before, yes. Nintendo claiming potential chip shortage for Pro to compel retailers to buy all inventory as they produce it, although market demand will be sufficiently robust. Yeah, who knows? What's this about a Nintendo Direct tomorrow? It's an indie. There's an Indie World tomorrow, not a Nintendo Direct. Indie World. Indie World! Hollow Knight Silksong release date tomorrow. That would be so nice, John. Did I play that game back at E3 2019? The fact that game is still not out, and we're going to be like 2 years out from when I played a playable demo of that game and put footage up on this very channel of me beating the first boss in that game. What the hell? It's like the only game I have playable footage from E3 2019 that hasn't come out yet. Every other game I played has come out, but Hollow Knight Silksong. What's going on with that game? Like, what kind of development troubles are they having? Did they run out of money? Like, I don't know what's taking. Like, I thought the first Hollow Knight was super successful, so I don't think money's a problem. But maybe it's mismanaged. Maybe they have people leave the team. I have no idea. It feels weird that game's not out yet. You think Xenoblade Chronicles 2 will be restocked by the holidays? Yes. Nintendo going to hit it out the park at E3 like Christian Yelich against the Cubs. Yelich is hurt right now, too. I don't know how the Brewers are winning games right now. I guess, their pitching's been really good. The Brewers' pitching's been phenomenal. Their offense has been kind of, But hey, the Brewers are off to a decent start this year. We'll see what happens. Obviously, Bucks right now because the playoffs come up here in like a month, right? May something, isn't it? Don't the playoffs start next month? Pretty sure they do. All I want is Silksong and Sports Story. Oh, Sports Story would be great. Sports Story is good. Like, Golf Story was so great. Like, just imagining them expanding it to all those sports. I mean, I know they showed a trailer for it, but man, the original Hollow Knight is the best Metroidvania game ever made. Better than actual Metroids, in your opinion. And what about Castlevania? Made by 3 people, which is insanity. That's what some of the rumors are right now, that Microsoft's trying to buy Metal Gear from Konami. At the same time, reports are out there that a Metal Gear Solid collection is coming to PlayStation 5. Maybe Konami is trying to burn the candle at both ends. Who the hell knows? I need Mario Golf. Dude, Mario Golf. Was it Super Rush, right? Oh my god, that game looks so good. You guys know we'll be live streaming that game day one. Day one we'll be streaming Mario Golf, man. Heck, I might even live stream me picking up the game in person. I'm so hyped. Dude, Mario Golf, baby. Let's go. For those rainy, cold days in between cutting grass. It is cold today. It's like in the 30s again today. After being in the 70s last week. Welcome to Wisconsin. Weather's all over the place this time of year. Bush lattes, cutting grass, and playing Mario is how I roll now. Nintendo missing any of the big indie games to make the indie presentation good? Hollow Knight Silksong and technically No More Heroes is also an indie game. Technically. They treat it like it's a bigger game, but it is technically an indie game, and it was announced at an Indie World. So, you could see No More Heroes 3. You could also see Hollow Knight. Otherwise, I have no idea. Could be any number of games. Thanks for your patience answering our questions. You're a great dude and broadcaster. I hope you grow even more this year and more people get to enjoy your content. Thanks, man. I try. I'm not perfect, but I try. I mean, I have like this back of my mind goal that I want to get to 100,000 subscribers this year, but to be honest, I don't even know if it's really realistic or even possible. I would have to have the most subscriber growth in a year I've ever had. So I don't know that it's really realistic. But I just hope people continue to enjoy my videos. Is everyone in chat just dads that cut grass? I cut grass. Although I don't have a lawnmower now. My lawnmower broke. So I don't have a lawnmower. I have to borrow one now. Man, there's nothing worse than borrowing a lawnmower. It sucks. God damn it. All right, folks. You think we'll see a new Mario 2D collection or at least a new game? A new game someday, yes. All right, I got to go. I got other things I got to get done today before my kiddos come home from school. Like go to my job and, get homework done. So, thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a lot of fun. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. I don't know if I'm going to have another video or not today beyond this live stream. So, enjoy. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat we had earlier, by the way, from Otaku Stream Team. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat earlier. Our only monetary support this stream. That's all right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Konnichiwa. Wait, is that the right word? I don't even know.